Now, the following section talks about mostly what we have discussed, which is the obligatory part. The obligatory part. What are the obligatory parts in wudu? What do you mean by obligatory? Meaning that they are pillars of wudu. So there are 6. We won't discuss them a lot so that we can save a little bit time, but just in case, first of all, the first pillar is washing one's whole face. As God says, believers, when you are about to pray, wash your faces. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا قمتم إلى الصلاة فاغسلوا وجوهكم. And the face, as scholars define it, is from the roots of the hair till the chin. This is your chin. It's not below. It's this is the face. And from the ear to the ear. So a lot of the Muslims just wash this area, avoiding the sideburns to the ear, and don't wash it. Their wudu is invalid. Yep. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. You have to wash the whole face, which is washing it from the roots of the hair entirely, and this area as well, because this is included. So like this, and you wash your face. This is pillar number 1. Hold on your horses, Sheikh. What do you mean pillar number 1? We know that wudu, first thing you do is wash your hands. Wrong. What do you mean wrong? I've been doing this all my life. Yeah, this is not part of the wudu. This is sunnah. This is recommended. If you want to do it, go ahead. If you don't, you just go ahead by washing your face, no problem. Seriously? Yeah. This is what's mentioned in the Quran. إِذَا قُمْتُمْ إِلَى الصَّلَاةِ فَاغْسِلُوا وُجُوهَكُمْ. If you are to pray, wash your faces. This is the first thing to do. But the sunnah, as we will come to get to know, inshallah, is to clean your hands first 3 times before dipping it into the bucket of water and washing your face and doing the rest of the wudu procedure. Number 2, washing one's arms up to the elbows, as the relevant verse makes it clear, and your hands and arms up to the elbows. This is pillar number 2. Now, in pillar number 1, the text did not consider swirling the water in your mouth, madmada, and rinsing your nose by sniffing it up your nostrils and blowing that water, which is called al-istinshaqu wal-istinthar. Why is that? Because the author does not think it's mandatory, though it is mandatory, and this is the most authentic opinion of scholars. So after doing that, you wash your arms to the elbows, which a lot of us make the common mistake. Sheikh, you're destroying me. Everything in my wudu now you're telling me is wrong. I've been worshipping Allah in the wrong way. This is why we're here. So what mistake what was I doing? See, the vast majority of Muslims turn the faucet on, and then they wash their arms from the wrist up to the elbows. So they do this, and then they do this. Okay, Sheikh, what's wrong? I've been doing this all my life. The problem is that they don't wash their hands, because they are relying on the fact that they wash their hands in the very beginning of wudu 3 times. So this is wrong? Of course this is wrong. We've said that you have to have order. One of the pillars of wudu, the 6 pillars, order. So the order was not made there, because they washed their faces. When it came to the hands, they said they washed it earlier, and this doesn't count. So the right way of doing it is after you wash your face, you wash from your fingertips to your elbow. And this would count and would be sufficient. Number 3, wiping one's head with one's wet hand. And I'm not going to go into difference of opinions of schools of thought who said that 1/4 of the hair is sufficient. Some said 3 hairs are sufficient. Others went into we don't want to go into details that are not backed by evidence. Yes, the schools of thought, they may deliberate on such issues, spend a lot of time giving a lot of logical comments that are not based on the Quran and the Sunnah. What does Allah say in the Quran? وَامْسَحُوا بِرُؤُوسِكُمْ. Now the issue is بِرُؤُوسِكُمْ. The letter B. Is it to minimize the amount, or is it to mean to be touching and adjacent to? It's an issue of dispute. We are not that interested in such issue of dispute that would confuse us. Just show me how to perform wudu. So the sunnah, and the vast majority of scholars say, is that you put water in your hand. It's not soaking wet. Some people wash their heads, and this is wrong. This is invalid. The right way is to wipe, and this is a concession from Allah to ease things for us, because if we have to wash our heads 5 times a day, we will definitely have sinus, cold, and we'll be sick all day long. But Allah Azza wa Jal made it easy. So your hands are wet. There's no water actually being carried in them. It's wet. You just, from the top of your head or hair, you go backwards and then you come forward. Once. That is it. This is one way of doing it. To those who have normal hair or short hair, what about for women who have long hair, or men who have hair that is difficult to tidy up after, disturbing? So there is another hadith which is authenticated by Al-Albani that the Prophet used to do this. So those who have long hair, from the top of the head, you follow the roots till the end of the hair. So if you have hair coming down like this, you wet your hand, you do this, you do this, you do this. So you don't bring forward and backwards, and this would keep your hair intact and would fulfill wiping over the head. So 2 ways of doing it, and Allah Azza wa Jalla knows best. Number 4, washing one's feet up to the ankles. And the ayah, the ankles are the 2 bones coming out from the foot and the leg. So the leg and the foot, you have these 2 bolts on the side. These are the ankles. So you wash the whole foot up and the ankles level, and that is it. To the top level of the ankles, not the bottom. So you include them in washing. And the hadith of Ibn Zayd also explains this. So then we have number 6, and that is odd. Maybe I copied and pasted it wrongly, but there should be number 5. So number 5 should be the order, which we spoke about earlier, and that is, you have to have this order. You cannot wash your arms, then go to your face, then go to your feet, then wipe over your head. You have to follow the sequence mentioned in the Quran and done by the Prophet ﷺ. This is crystal clear. But it is permissible for you to begin with your left hand, arm, and then wash your right. wash your left foot, then wash your right. Because the order has been followed, you've gone against the sunnah. But your wudu is valid. So it is the face, arms, head, feet. You have to follow this sequence. But in each level, you can play around. So if you wash your left arm first, then wash your right arm afterwards, this is permissible. Number 6, continuous progress. And this means washing one organ immediately after the one before it without any delay. And we spoke about this. So I don't think, inshallah, we have to elaborate on it